Hello, welcome back. Hey everyone, Kwame here. Let a few people in and then we'll get started with today's video. If you do hear noise going on, we're getting doors put in the house, so I apologize for any of that, but should be all good. No little dog running around, running amok today, so should be all good. So today, super cool video, or I should say, welcome back to another live episode of Capture and Create. I'm your host, Kwame, and today I got a couple things. I want to show you a new to me feature in Lightroom that I've been using quite a bit. Really cool feature that I've been using, so share that with you. A couple new lenses for us Sony users, especially the full frame users. Something pretty cool, I think, but also APS-C lenses. And I want to talk about Google's new Pixel 8 and why I'm pretty excited about it, and a new pickup I got from my Samsung Galaxy Tab S8. So super excited about that. As always, if you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments. I will answer them as we go along. But let's dive right in. So talking about Lightroom. Let me get over here and switch this out. Alright, so this is Lightroom, my Lightroom collection. And this is something I want to show you all that is pretty cool that I've been using. And this will work on the desktop version like you see here, or the mobile version, CC also, or I guess not CC anymore, like just regular Lightroom. This is Lightroom Classic. But you come in here into the develop module, up here in your mask section. Now this is not new, but I don't really use this all that much. However, now you can add a mask and it's already like done for you. Right, you can do by subject, by sky, by background. So let's take the dog here, Ghost. It's detecting the subject and it did a pretty good job, like right out the gate. The only thing it missed was like a little bit down here, which is fine because you can always add in a layer. Like so, I want to take this, now I can brush in this part of what it missed. And I guess over here too. But it's pretty cool because now you see, come back up to this one, I can adjust the subject here, separate from the background. Super easy. I don't have to worry about using my brush tool to go around it. Makes a really good selection. Again, this is what it selected. Pretty good. Now this is like probably easier because it's a white dog on a green background, but super easy to do. You can do your, whatever adjustments you want to do in here. Let's do color temperature. Let's see if we can knock out some of the green reflection. There you go. So there, that warm them up just a little bit there, and there you go. It's, again, super easy to do. Something I didn't realize I needed until I was messing around with it one day. Wait, let's take a picture of me here. We'll do the same thing, come up here, but this time let's do the background. So it's going to detect the background, and there you go. Did a really good job of cutting me out. So now if I wanted to lower the background, the exposure in the background, let's say I wanted to bring down the shadow, or let's say I wanted to take out some of the color. Like this is a thing now where you can have your subject in color, background out of color. Just gonna go back, put something like this, and then if I wanted to crop it, There we go. Come back in here. And then let's say, now the cool part is if you want to add on, so now I want to select me, I can do that. And then come in here and mess around with some of this. And be done. Hit the before and after. There you go. Looks pretty good. And then let's say I wanted to just add a slight vignette to it. I mean, if you start with this, end with this, that's a pretty good thing that you can do all within Lightroom. So this is like another reason why I just love using Lightroom. Now you can do these subject selects that I used to do in Photoshop. You can do straight within Lightroom. It'll work with people, pets. I'm guessing, let's see. I want to show you one with the sky. So this is one we took in, I'm guessing, London. Come up here, let's say I wanted to mess with the sky a little bit on this one. Cuts out the top portion here, and then I could, let's say I want to bring this down a little bit, or bring it up, or change the color temperature a little bit, like make it cooler. You can do that all within a click of a button. So really cool if you do have Lightroom on your desktop, or even your, like I said before, your PC, not PC, your mobile, or Lightroom class, just Lightroom. Like there's Lightroom Classic, which is what we were using, or Lightroom, the web-based version, whatever they're calling it. It'll work. So yeah, really super cool, super cool feature that I really like within Lightroom. And something I want to start doing is like more Lightroom little tutorials and stuff like that. So if you guys have any questions about Lightroom, again, please don't hesitate to ask them. If you have any questions for today's show, drop them in the chat and I will take a look at them. But yeah, I was thinking about doing more Lightroom content, and just showing you how I use Lightroom. And I was thinking about doing not switching over permanently, but like trying out Lightroom, just the what they used to call Lightroom CC. And so I was thinking about setting up brand new from scratch and like showing you all, documenting that journey. So my Lightroom library, if we come back here, I don't know how well you can see, but like my Lightroom library over here is, it goes back a few years. This is just a collection, but like the folders themselves go back to 2002. So I've been using Lightroom for a long time, and really like it. All right, so one thing I wanted to show with not show off, but share with you all. You know how I love my Samsung S22, no, the S8, sorry, the Samsung Tab S8. Really love this little device, and I really like the Microsoft Surface-like keyboard case it has, because it has a kickstand, and it's like perfect to use if you just want to take it off and use this portion as just a regular tablet and stuff. The only problem I've had is when you're using this, same with a Surface computer, if you're using it on your lap, it is almost impossible. One of the really nice things about the iPad is the Magic Keyboard. Now, the Magic Keyboard is expensive as hell, but it's pretty nice. And so having that floating design with like the all-in-one keyboard is something I've been looking for. And so recently, a manufacturer came out with, I guess I could have gotten it on like AliExpress, but AliExpress, but came out with a floating keyboard, something like it. It's right here. So this here, I want to back up for a second. that here is your keyboard, and like the Samsung version, it has magnets, and so you just put it on like this, and now you have a clamshell floating keyboard. Pretty nifty. I'm not gonna lie. It's nice to have. It works, right? That's what I can say. The only thing I don't like is this is as far back as it goes. Hold on, let's see. This is as far back as it goes. So yeah, it doesn't. You don't get that much of a tilt when you're viewing it, so it's kind of hard to use. I picked it up. I got it on pre-order. It was $80. It was, I think, worth $80 right now. They're selling it on Amazon for $129. For the black version, if you get the white version, it's $80. I don't know if it's worth $129. I don't think so. I'm probably gonna return this one because I just don't like how limiting the hinges. But I mean, like, it's super solid. Like, if that doesn't bother you, it's solid. The keyboard is nice. The trackpad is decent. Having that all-in-one design is really nice. It has that floating look like the iPad. That's pretty cool. So yeah, if that's what you're looking for, this is a great case. I still like the just regular case here. Again, it's really expensive for what it is. The other thing that I like about this case that the other keyboard case doesn't have is there's nowhere to put your S Pen. So they don't have a spot to put your S Pen when you're not using it. So it kind of actually, you could put it on the back like this. It will stick, but it will fall off pretty quick. Like, if you put this in a bag, it'll fall off. But like, if you just put it like this and was walking around the house, it'll be fine. I just learned that out. Just figured that out. So okay, so you could put it on the back of the keyboard like this when you're using it, and then when you don't need it, you can pull it off. Now, is it gonna charge? What's back there? Let's see. It does not do charging. Yeah, I'm not surprised about that, but you could use it to store your S Pen back there. So that's not too bad. But yeah, like I said, overall, I'm gonna use it for like another week or two, and then if if it's not what I really like, then I'll return it. I will say the Tab S8 has been pretty amazing. Like, it's actually a really good tablet. I think it's, for photo editing, is just as good as the iPad. Obviously, there aren't all the same iOS apps that are on Android, but for the apps I use, it works really well. The one spot that it has fallen, and I don't blame the tablet itself, it's more, I think, the app developer, and it sucks to say, but LumaFusion is terrible on the Tab S8. I really do not like it on there. It crashes constantly. I've uninstalled it, reinstalled it. It's just not a good app on Android, which sucks because the hardware is just as good as iOS, and so it would be amazing to have that same same app performance that's on even this old iPad that I have, if it could work on a newer Android tablet. So yeah, that stinks. Personally, I still like editing pictures or videos in LumaFusion more than even Final Cut Pro. Even though I can do it in Final Cut Pro, it's just easier, and using the pencil and touch first is like just a better experience for me. But I was really hoping you could do that with the Tab S8, but unfortunately, it does not look like it's going to work out for that. But for photo editing and using it, as a backup computer or using it as a travel computer, awesome. Like I cannot, I have no complaints for that. Only thing I wish is that Lightroom would bring panoramic image stitching to their mobile apps. So anyone from Adobe, if you're watching, that would be awesome. All right. Next up, 2 new lenses for us Sony users. One is the Tamron 10 to 18, or Sigma, I'm sorry, Sigma 10 to 18 f2.8. This is for the APS-C Sony cameras. Also, it's coming to Fujifilm and L mount, so that'd be like the Leica mount camera, or even Leica or Panasonic. They use the L mount standard. So that's really cool, I think, for people like me who use the A6100 or possibly the A6600. It's like a great little, it's a great wide angle lens, right? Perfect for group pictures, perfect for flipping up the camera, doing video like this if you wanted to. That would be great. It's a small compact lens, so it's, you know, a really cool feature. f2.8, I love having that wide aperture for that. And again, you could use it on full frame lenses, but you'll be cropping in quite a bit. So depending on how big your sensor is or how many megapixels you have, it's doable. I wouldn't do it on the A7 II just because you'll go from like a 24 megapixel image down to like a 10 or something like that. So I don't think it's worth it. But if you do use APS-C cameras, which I think are amazing, obviously I'm using one right now, this is a great lens to pick up, especially for like wide angle landscape pictures. Now the other lens is Tamron's 17 to 50 f4 lens for the Sony full frame cameras. Now this is super exciting because it's an all internal zoom lens. F4 isn't the greatest, isn't the greatest, but it's not the worst either. Like my A7 II, I think would be fine with shooting this at f4. And then the newer cameras with their higher resolutions and their better low light sensitivity and all that good stuff, you'll be fine. But having that 17 to 50 to me is like the perfect walk around type of lens. Put this on, everyday carry type of lens. It will work great on the your APS-C lenses, cameras too. So again, A6100, A6600, it will work fine for that. Yeah, I'm really excited about this one because I think it's a really cool. It'll be a really cool lens, and also if you do need f2, Tamron does make a 20 to 40 millimeter f2.8 lens. I think that's a weird focal range, but I guess if you want an everyday carry camera lens, that would work. But the 17 to 50, I'm pretty excited about because I think for someone like me who typically uses the A6100 or A7 II, sorry, I usually use my A7 II with just one lens on there. If I take it these days, I would like to have something like this, even though my iPhone does shoot wide angle lens. Like for me, the iPhone and the S22 Ultra has like the mid range to wide angle gap for photography is taken care of for the most part with those phones. It's more like macro photography or any kind of zoom photography is where I would use a dedicated camera like the A7 II. Like the A7 II with the 90 millimeter lens, amazing. Like I've been doing a lot of macro photography. If you follow me over on Glass, you could see some of those pictures. Really, really great lens, really great pictures coming out of that camera with that lens. Something I could never get with an iPhone. I shouldn't say never, but I just couldn't get with an iPhone. But with this 17 to 50, if you want to travel light, this is one way of doing it. Again, internal zoom, so it's not going to get big or anything like that. So I'm really really excited about this lens. They both are available for pre-order now. I'll leave links down below, but really cool. Two new cool lenses coming to us Sony manufacturers or Sony users. And just on a side note, I've been really happy with using Sony cameras because you don't have to just buy their first party lenses. Seeing Sigma, Tamron, I'm using I forgot the name, Samyang. I'm using a Samyang lens right now. Like, you can get amazing lenses that aren't, I'm not gonna say they're cheap, but they're much cheaper than the Sony alternative. And of course the Sony alternative is great. Like, there's no, if you're a professional shooting professional images at weddings, sporting events, yeah, go spend the extra money for like the Sony 200 to 600 or something like that. But for us normal people who are just doing this for a hobby, for fun, I think, like, if you want a long lens, the Tamron 150 to 500, perfectly fine. The Sigma has like the 100 to 400, perfectly fine. So yeah, I've been really happy with using Sony gear and Sony cameras because it's been really fun. And then lastly, one phone that I've always kind of been excited about but I've never used is the Google Pixel line. The new Pixel 8 was announced a couple days ago, and I'm really excited to see what they're going to do with their new camera and camera system sensors. So their main camera, 50 megapixel lens, sensor, 50 megapixel sensor, like typical Google sensors. However, the telephoto and wide angle lenses got a huge upgrade. Well, their sensors got a huge upgrade. So the ultra wide is 48 megapixels, and same with the telephoto. And then the front facing camera is 10.5 still on both the Pro and the regular. And then on the regular, the Pixel 8 non-Pro, the ultra wide is 12 megapixels, but you still get the same 50 megapixel sensor as in their Pro. I'm super excited about this because what Google can do with the picture, with their machine learning and everything, I think is better than any other manufacturer out, even Apple. They nail the post-processing of pictures. And now that they have a high resolution telephoto, which is a 5x telephoto, so same as Apple, but Apple's is a 12 megapixel sensor. This is a 48 megapixel sensor. What I'm hoping is that they can do things like take a lower resolution image, the higher resolution image, blend them together like Apple can do, and use that to get like a 24 megapixel resolution image that is super detailed but not like really big, because a 48 megapixel raw image is gigantic. So if you're able to do that with both the ultra wide and the telephoto lens, I mean, it's going to be unbelievable. Even the S22, S23, their telephoto lens, I think, is only 12 megapixels also, which again, megapixels don't count for everything, right? But the more resolution you can get, the more data that you can just get in to these computers. I mean, they're little computers in our pocket. The more that you can do with them, right? And that does come into the whole, like, what is a picture these days, right? If you're taking a bunch of little pictures, getting the best image off of each sensor or each pixel size, whatever. But I'm really excited to see what Google is going to do with this, because, like I said before, their camera and their software processing is second to none. I wish they would offer the camera as a standalone camera. I know people have ported it to different devices like the S22, S23, but they don't look as good. Like, they never look as good. And when you look at the hardware that it's running on, like the Google Pixel, It's maybe as good as the S22 Ultra that I have. Maybe. Like the image sensors will be better for, especially in the telephoto and the wide angle, but like the 50 megapixel image, I get a 100 megapixel image. Um, the 5x telephoto zoom, there's a 10x, and again, it's like a true 10x um, zoom. So it'd be cool if you could actually use Google's processing to make these pictures look their best. Obviously, they're not gonna do that right now, but that would be really nice and really cool to see. So I'm really excited about that. This might be the first time ever I think about trying a Pixel camera or Pixel phone, just literally for the camera. I want to see how well that works. And now that I have the Adonit Dash 4, that pen can be used on any phone. So like I said before, I'm really excited about this. I want to see what they're gonna do with these cameras. And at this point, we're splitting hairs. My dad was asking me the other day if about the iPhone 15 and the S23 or the S24 that's coming out. I guess next year, early next year. And I was like, listen, no matter what you get, it's gonna be amazing. So get something. Know you're gonna hold on to it for a little while. There's all kinds of things you can get. Like Moment has lenses now for the iPhone, or you can get a clip that you can put on any phone. There's grips I've seen with MagSafe in them that will turn your phone into more like a traditional camera with a Bluetooth button. There's all sorts of things, and not to mention like Lightroom, what you can do with a computer, with a tablet, with a Windows-based tablet, right? You can run Lightroom, Lightroom on there, and you can really have some mobile power. So yeah, I say it every time when we're about to wrap up. We have an amazing, we're at an amazing time when it comes to photography and all that good stuff. So yeah, I'm super excited about everything that's coming out. I'm super excited with some of the pictures I've been taking. And sharing the pictures on glass has been fun. I've been posting some pictures to VSCO, so if you want to follow me on there, I will leave a link down there. It's been fun to use. They came out with some new stuff that maybe we'll talk about next week. The other thing I want to mention before I forget is Google Photos got an update. I guess they announced this back in August, but they're rolling out memories. So it's like kind of like Apple does this, where like you go on a trip or something and it'll pull together a bunch of pictures and video and put them in like a little slideshow for you. So yeah, they're doing that. You can use machine learning to help you come up with titles. I played around with it for a little bit. It looks cool. I don't think any of these do exactly what I'm looking for, but there are, because it's Google and they have all these powerful things in the background. It has started pulling like pictures of me and my one of my old dogs. So it's like, oh, you two are buddies. Let's put these pictures together. So it's been really fun looking back at some of those. I have a video coming out next week talking about photographing the mundane and the everyday and why it's important to do that. And so be on the lookout for that. And I'm guessing Google Photos will be talked about in there also. But yeah, unless you guys have any questions, I'm gonna wrap up here. 10:30. This is week number 5 or week number 6 of doing this, so I'm super excited. Like I said, I'm gonna keep doing this every Friday. We're gonna come out, hang out, talk about pictures. Again, I want this to be an interactive thing, so I want to see your pictures. I want to answer your questions. I want to have discussions about the Pixel 8, the Tamron lenses, new phones, maybe some new apps. Lightroom. What are you guys struggling with? That kind of stuff. So if you do have questions, put them down in the comments. Send me a message. I will answer them on the next live show, which again will be next Friday at 10 a.m. Pacific time. So wherever that is for you, hopefully you can join me live. If not, you can always catch the replay. And as always, I really do appreciate everyone who's come out to watch these, who support me. Really do care about you, your family, your hopes and dreams. Any things that you're going through, I'm here for you. All right. Talk to you all later. Bye bye.